Don't have a whole lot to say. Had a good week of practice. Have an extra week off of school right now. Usually start back school today, so another week just to be able to train and get guys ready for obviously this weekend going to South Dakota State, Nebraska. Then we come back next week, got Mizzou, and then next home duel the 20th against Air Force. So have a lot of duels coming up. But just a lot of opportunity, since the Midlands, we've had some time to be able to just train. We didn't have anything this last weekend, really by design, too. You come off that tournament, and it's nice to be able to have a little time to train, a little time where you can give guys a few days, maybe extra off, but also that you can focus on some areas and really make some gains in some positions that you feel are necessary. We've been spending a lot of time on bottom and like the response. We had a workout this morning. And was really happy with how guys push themselves. Very important that they learn how to function when they're fatigued and tired. It's part of the sport, getting tired. It's part of wrestling matches that you have to learn how to push yourself and learn how to be able to stay in there and learn how to overcome that. So we got them tired this morning, and they responded well. So I was really happy with the work that they put in. Really the work that they put in the last week and really all year. I think there's been an increased focus and really an intention when they're coming into the practice room, not just to go through practice and go through the motions, but to really try to improve and get better. Because sometimes you can just come in and you can kind of go through the motions and you can get through it and not improve. Just because you punch your time clock doesn't mean that improvement's there, but really focusing on improving. And guys have taken heart of that, and I think we're going to continue to see that more and more in our results, and really focus on really what we can. So good effort this morning. This week training's been good. We'll have a couple more workouts, and then we head to Thursday to South Dakota State, wrestle them in Nebraska. So I don't know if anybody's got any questions, but SDSU, don't know if Gross will be back or not. He didn't wrestle in Midlands. They have a few guys that are in the rankings. They lost a few guys last year. They had a couple All-Americans that graduated. They had a couple other guys that transferred. But I know it's a hostile environment. It's actually a pretty fun environment up there. We went up there last year, and they did beat us in that duel. So, you remember those things. Obviously, for us, we want to get a roll going. So what I mean by that, you get some momentum. It's hard to get momentum winning one match, then losing the next, or win, just from momentum from an effort and hustle and fight, which I think coming off Midlands, not going to be hard to do from how we competed, how we finished, be able to build some momentum from there, and then just continue to carry that over. Nebraska, some big head-to-head matchups. A guy like Schwarm's wrestled Moisey a couple times, and Moisey beat him a couple times, so you want to be able to see that turnaround. 41, wrestled the guy before. He's in the rankings. 57, guy just beat, I think, the number 2 guy in the country yesterday. So he'll probably be ranked probably 2. 65 guys in the top, 5 or 6. He actually won Vegas, won the bracket that Bryce was in. 74 is in the top 10. 84's beat us the last couple times, and actually had a match at Vegas that Drew scored 3 takedowns in the third period, but you can't let yourself get behind 5-6 points. It's tough to come back against a good opponent to be able to do that. So I know he's looking forward to that match. They got I think a top 10 guy at 97 and maybe top 10, 12 at heavyweight. So Nebraska has a very good team. Great opportunity for our guys, and just really looking forward to a team effort where every single guy goes out and fights for his team. And maybe you beat some guys that maybe on paper you're not supposed to. And really for us to win that duel, we're going to need to do that. But got to take care of South Dakota State first. But really just looking to see our guys get some momentum and really hustle and fight through every single thing, every single position. And we've done a better job of it, I can tell you, from the first tournament. From the first tournament to Midlands, there's been a huge jump. And just the focus and awareness, and I think that the risk guys are taking. We're giving ourselves more opportunities, and that's really all I've asked the guys. Give ourselves more opportunities, give ourselves a chance to win matches, and really to leave a mark on your opponent. And the only way to do that is you compete at an incredibly high level. You compete incredibly hard, and you don't let that guy have anything easy. So we have that in our control. We've been practicing on it, and we'll continue to practice on it and look forward to being able to do it Saturday and Sunday. in South Dakota and in Nebraska. So I know hopefully some fans coming over. We'd love to see some purple. Um, I'll let you sit on the bench too. We got some room. I tried to get one of the good friends of our program. He's also good friends with Coach Manning, unfortunately, and I don't know if he's coming to the meet or not. I tried to make sure that he was wearing purple, but I know he's really cheering for us. But he might not say it out loud, but I know he is. Other than that, I don't know if anybody's got any questions. If not,
What do you look at as kind of the keys getting back with these conference opponents? And obviously, those types of environments you're going to encounter in Nebraska and South Dakota State. What do you look at as kind of the keys for your team to find some success there on the road?
I think we've been pretty dang good on the road. Um, to me, going into an enemy, so-called enemy territory and making it quiet, that's the best thing ever. Unless you got your little patch of crowd that's cheering. Um, I think for us, it's consistency. Every single time, it's not kind of, well, man, we really like what we saw in that match, and we're not sure about this match. But I can tell you why the guys have been consistent in where they're at is because they're consistent in their daily life, how they're taking care of things, how they're training every day, the focus and effort that they're giving, not once in a while, every day. So I want us to start, beating some guys on paper that we're not supposed to. And to do that, you're going to have to stay in matches. You're going to have to maybe weather some storms, but also you're just going to have to be ready to go punch first and then keep punching. So that's, you ask what I want to see out of our guys. I want to see that. I want to see our training take hold. The things that we're talking about in there in the room that are important and how they're competing in the room has to transfer into competition and then hopefully even raises another level. But just to build some momentum, I mean, you start talking about seeding in national terms, you start talking about seeding in Big 12 and those things, and the way that you get seeded really high is you just keep beating guys. You keep winning matches. But I know we need to get some momentum. Our team, our guys, just put a string of consistent performances together. I think Midlands was good. Really, 5 guys scored about 120 points for us. But you got 10 guys that are going out and competing in a duel, so we need all 10 guys doing that.
How good a measuring stick is this for you? Is this another good one with back-to-back really quality opponents and you're traveling back-to-back days?
Yeah, I think we've done multiple back-to-back already with when we went out east, we went back-to-back days. Vegas, we went back-to-back days. The Midlands, we went back-to-back days. I think that's important just because you go to a national tournament, you have to go back. You obviously have to go back-to-back-to-back. You got to go 3 days, but that's, I think, something that we put on our schedule is we wanna be able to have to go back-to-back, where you have to get up again. Because, man, if you can only get up for one match, um, then you're in the backside of the national tournament. You have to be able to get up and get up again, and getting our guys to be able to, because not every time out you're going to feel great, and be able to kind of push that aside and be able to focus on what they can control. Nebraska's got a good team. I mean, they do. We haven't got to wrestle them for quite a few years. I think it's been maybe 5 or 6 years since we got to wrestle those guys. So look forward to that. We've been wanting to get them back on the schedule because, one, it makes a lot of sense. We're close in proximity. The coach used to coach here, so there's some history there, and they always have a good team. And we want to wrestle the best teams, and that's what we've tried to put on our schedule with our Big 12 schedule. But with who we fill in outside of that, we're always going to try to put a top 10, a top 5, a top 20, a Big 10 team. I mean, we're trying to get more on the schedule right now for next year. We love competing against those teams and going head to head with them and seeing where we're at, and like I said, just opportunity for seeding, for points, for everything that it does, and just to build momentum. Man, you go beat the number 3 guy in the country. Now, a guy like Foster, and all of a sudden, then he's the number 2 or number 3 guy in the country. He goes and beats that guy. So I don't know about measuring. I think you're measuring yourself every day, but I like wrestling Big 10 teams. It's good. It's good for us. It's good for our guys because that's kind of where we want to measure ourselves against.
Speaking of that, do you anticipate a duel with Iowa in the near future?
I would say no. I don't really want to talk about it. I mean, we can talk about that, and we could have a whole another subject and long conversation about that. But all we can do is we can practice and compete against who we can. Our best thing is to go score as many points as we can in the national tournament. I mean, go out point those teams there, and then then you can just put your hands up and be like, okay, So we still have a lot left to prove. We'd love to wrestle them. We'd also love to wrestle Minnesota, Northwestern, and Illinois, and Wisconsin, and all these teams that are within 4 or 5 hours of us. We want to wrestle all those teams. We start to get limited a little bit, because all those teams are probably like, well, you want to all wrestle us? Well, I don't know if we'll be able to put every single one of them on the schedule, but we would. We want to wrestle those teams, and we inquired to wrestle those teams because it's good for our guys and it's good for the sport, man. You want to see two high level programs competing against each other. So my focus isn't that. We went to Midlands so we could compete against them, and I like the Midlands tournament where it was at this year. We'll see about next year if we go back or not, but we did this year. So anything else? Nope. Go Panthers.
I needed that word. The word is that you want to wrestle them. Is that it, Jerry?
All right, we'll have Coach Warren. The women are coming off of a thrilling overtime win